Hello everyone, this is comrade-Sirius. Welcome to another episode from Workers and Resources, and this time it will be a special one because we are going to finish Hlubočepy and the area above it because there has been some changes. And let me start with a few more details about what has happened. First, there is this road that is, it has been created. It will take a while. It goes around the station, so the station will be buildable. The bridge is still not done, so you remember it. And I cannot click this one because you would miss the grand scheme of things. This, my friends, this is a tunnel, and the tunnel is in 8% gradient, 80 per mille. The same gradient has trams in Trojská Street in Prague, so that's kind of fine, and they can do it. This last bit is a little less steeper. You can probably see the joint if I point it out. Overall, it's very similar. And those trams are going all the way up to our big industry. You can also suggest some names and so on. And to be fair, those who are going to be first members of this channel probably will have their name eternally on some of these buildings, as it's done with Czech members of the channel as well. That's why you have found strange names and strange, nicknames on many buildings and, also shops and such. That's the thing that works for Czech part. Obviously, it will work for this one as well. And what is new? The new is basically this part, because there's there are woodcutters, and there's a chemical plant and a storage for wood. Why is this so? Because I generally used to, planned to include some stuff, like, some 2 small chemical plants that didn't fit because we wouldn't be able to get workers in. Speaking of workers, we have this gate. We have not entirely finished, all of potential walls, so I'm not building walls right now. We will build a wall, but definitely not now. And we also need to, curve the track around so it can fit, because I would probably love to export excess wood if that will come. And, we'll see. We'll see what it will, where it will go. But we need much more, because this thing needs to get access to people, and it needs a lot of stuff. If you take a look, the chemical plant, the early start, it will have, it will have more production than needed, but we also need more stuff, so don't worry, we'll get there. And the chemical plant, this one, it needs wood, that will have, power obviously will happen, water, that's the one thing, water, crops, and gravel. And those things we are going to add right now in this area. Let's start. Gravel is simple, I would say. We need a mine, and we have a lot of rocks. We have this road down here to our uranium mining site, and I am pretty confident that we are able to make it so that we will build a small quarry. We do not need too high quality or anything like it, so wherever we fit it, we will. And it feels like that right under these conveyors, like 36%. That's lovely, because we have those bins here, so we can probably just utilize it in one way or another. And yeah, sure, it is here. So we will connect it later on. Let's just, make it a little smoother. And now we know. Now we can have these. That's obviously quarried stone, not a gravel plant. We are not going to send people here. It's not a suicide, but it's just waste of time. So we'll need to have something like a gravel plant up here. Where are conveyor connections to this building? Well, connections. Just one, I know. I just noticed. Okay, can we make it so that it works? To be fair, if we take meters inside, We have cableway station. It has one footpath out here, which is not buildable right now because it's not connected to anything. That will need to be fixed over time. Or, you know, it can be built right here. It's a footpath with lamps. Okay. I can't kinda get the point. You know what? Let's start. The small bit to the station can be done later on. Do we have it connected or not? Or you can just simply build footpath under. Yeah, you can probably build footpath. They don't have collisions, so that's great. Okay, so this thing is now buildable. That's a good sight, and therefore we can probably build footpath with lamps. You know, just gliding towards the gate. That's lovely. That's what we want. So from the building around, you know, we are here, and that's 130 meters, and we are in the area. Towards here, it's about, you know, 356. That's also fine, but we cannot go much further. We do not. That's great. Where is it? We definitely do not need the big gravel plant. Small one would be enough. And it feels like we have found a perfect solution. Just like that. Because connecting it like this, those workers can absolutely, you know, get to the plant. We can also, you know, mirror this thing up. And just build it on the ridge. Is it connected? Yeah, it is connected. Cool. I probably do not need more. Now, the gravel plant has its internal storage of 145 tons of gravel. That's a lot. Do we want to take it anywhere else? If so, why? And where? And that's a question I have no idea. Because, yeah. We also will need to process waste. So, yeah, keep that in mind. If we do not want to process waste, you know, on site, in some very stupid way, we can throw in some of these bins. The chemical plant have their own bins. That's not a problem. We need a road up. We need a road behind. That's understandable. Feels like this is good enough spot for those bins, so they will be here. Also, they will be connected right here, and then the road will continue on. So that's what we'll do, and yeah, we might need a route around the big building, storage building, to be fair. So let's plan it, because those things are good to not forget. We also have connections on the other side. Am I right? Yeah, I am right. And we do not have anything connected there. We might not need it. If we will, we have it. We have it there. Don't block it. Speaking of don't block it, probably designing this road, or, you know, at least placing it so we know, is not a bad idea. And that leads me to this thing. If you're looking on mobile, you probably didn't see much for a while, because those are very small details, but we can, you know, we can have something like this and then, you know, have it connected. That's not a problem. That's one of those parts. We are not making any more footpaths, because that would be silly, I would guess. Can we build brick roads? Would be funny, but these are brick roads. Cool. So yeah, let's change this one. Let's change this one to a brick road, because it would be lovely to just have that part, have that connection. Which brings me to a neat point, and that it's we probably need to have these things done. By the way, we do not have any trash cans at this bottom area, which is something we obviously need. So let's just finish all of this, because we need it. and it would be very stupid to not include it in the mix. Okay, lamps are on the left side. Got nothing against it. So we can have a really nice curve, by the way. What are we going to do with it is, yeah, it's very simple. I will just connect it towards this crossroad, and I will connect it right here. These ones are not connected, and that's why it was not one piece, so that's why it didn't have any lamps. Now it has. We're okay. I'm not connecting anymore right now. It's not making any sense. So that's what we'll do. So far, here are roads. Here is road. We will need a connection to the gravel plant and obviously here. So this one is, you know, pretty self-explanatory. So that one we'll have. I'm also thinking about having one right around the backside. But that one can wait. Or it can be, you know, a gravel one. Because it's just for like 2 people. Not for too many. So don't get too overly involved. However, there's one more point where we need a connection, and that's not just, you know, this story. We have this station behind the tunnel. From this station we have an escalator, you know, moving stairs. And that thing needs to get connected to somewhere as well. And, you know, this is a asphalt road. But if we are doing, what is our brick paths? Yeah, let's do brick paths. I got nothing against brick paths, so where does it go? Where does it go? This thing will get connected, and it will be, we can split it into 2, so that's not a problem. So let's just not forget and add this one, and therefore probably, you know, just bricks here because we need to get people inside. We will also need to get people to the factory right here. Let's just do it for now with a gravel path. We can absolutely add lamps to it, but we can do it later. Yep, here we are. Yes, I could technically just bring it down here, but I thought we want a wall, and I hope there will be a wall. There will be a buildable wall. The big, yes, it can be. That's fine. We need a fence. We need to make this beautiful. Fine. I hope we understand each other. What else? Second thing, we need a farm. Because we need crops, and crops are nowhere to be seen. How much crops we need? Probably not much. How much this thing eat? The chemical plant eats 2.6 tons a day, at most. Obviously, yeah, we are probably not going to build this thing too much, but okay, 2.6 tons. That times 10, it's 26 tons a day. 26 tons for 10 days, times 3 is a month. 2.6 times 3 is basically 7.5 tons. Plus minus. 7.5 tons, 75 tons per month, times 10 is 750. Plus something else, that doesn't matter, about 800 to 800 tons. Those are 3 big fields. Do we need more? Maybe not. We might utilize more. Why? Because we can have our own food production. At least a small one. Because 3 big fields are nothing. Yes, we can supply it with machinery and such, but you can see we can probably fit many more. It's like 10 fields of space up in here. So let's think about it a little bit and take a look. Okay. Do we have the small bakery, food factory, Small factory from early start for 30 people. That thing eats 7.5 tons of crops a day. 75 per 10 days. 150 to 125 per month. 225 per month, so that's like 2,500 per year. 2,500 are basically 9 big fields. Including 3, that's 12 fields at most. In higher production. 12 fields with 100% productivity, because it's 300 tons per field. If we are able to supply with at least, well, either liquid fertilizer or B, not liquid fertilizer, but how it's called? Solid fertilizer. It will easily go to 150%. Or if we not use all of those crops, we can let some of them decay and it will be instantly 150 without any solid or liquid fertilizer. So it's reasonable to not do 12 fields, but 8 would be enough. Where are we going to do it? This is very, very far away. I'm not doing it here. On the other hand, we have the road that goes all the way up, and there's just, this factory, so we can easily make it in this area. And you know what is best? We can also connect it to rails. So let's plan it. Okay, number 1, how to get crops, ideally without vehicles, to this plant. Easily, we built a small cableway, because those are effective and they can be crossed with roads. So that's what we have. That's basically the only reason, by the way, why I built this thing. This can almost go unsignaled, though to be fair, there's no need to. You can simply bar this up. There's no problem. Obviously, it's not connected to anything, but it will be connected to Inonice. I don't know at what century, but it will. At least, that's what I hope. Fine, that's step number 1. We will also need to get road towards here, but we'll get road after everything will get done. So, we have a silo for 4,800 tons. That's the big one. And it's the early start one. That's why it has only 1 rail. We do not need more rails. We will need an access road, I understand. And we'll also need a farm. And we'll need a bakery. And you know what's most important? We'll need to get workers there. That will take a while. But you know what we'll start? We'll start with the actual farm. So let's build a farm. Simple. We got a farm. We got a food factory. We got storage for food. The food factory is connected to both the farm and the silo, so it can drain from both of those, and obviously crops can get stored from the farm directly inside. Extra storage, extra usage. Why not? These are 2 storage, dumps for biowaste, because biowaste in open dumps degrade into natural fertilizer. So once when we are, basically getting biowaste from here, we can easily place it right away. There's no other industry. And we can obviously start picking biowaste from all of these and let technical services to take it from here to one of those, and for example have a vehicle from this one to just carry it right across. We can have a dedicated line. No, don't worry. That's not a problem. We'll see how effective it will be. No idea. We'll see. Then we have 2 more things. One of those is we need to get liquid fertilizer. So that's why we have, this storage for liquid fertilizer. We also need to unload it here. So that's why we have this train unloading station. And this train unloading station has a rail. We need to get workers there. So that's why we have this route. Which brings me to one crucial point and one crucial business we are not having here yet. And that one is, you might have guessed it, a fire station. Let's build one right away. I'm going for early start because that one doesn't need heating. And I'm going for a big one, because I would be silly if I wouldn't. This is a massive area. We need to cover this thing as well. So let's do it. And I will place it right next to those technical services. Yeah, we could maybe like do it even like this. Oh, good. Can we? We can. Good. It will still be, connectable. And it will be, connected right across the road. So that's lovely. It also doesn't have trash cans. Fuck. Okay. This thing do have trash cans. We can probably build one more right away. Or we can connect it. Or we probably cannot connect it to this one. It's way too far. Right? Yeah, this is 124. If I rotate this around, it will get to this. You know what? And it's silly, but I'm willing to do it. Because at this point, if I will build a road, this is 110 meters. Trash cans can reach up to 125. Well, 25 is too much, 124 is the limit. But hey, it will work, and, curving this is more detail. Fine, we got fire coverage. That's one more thing, like 50 to go. This will be a long episode. Yeah. Okay, we have this. You know what we need? We need to get workers here, and we need to get food from here to the city. And you might know this from me. And that's the fact that I would, yes, we can utilize the road, but we can also do one more thing, and that's a better one. We can utilize a conveyor system, transport system that can ferry both people and cargo. You know what it is? It is a cableway. Yeah, we probably have too many cableways right now. I completely agree. But if we are going to get any housing right here, or to be fair, we can utilize this thing. There's a square of any sort. You will be also able to connect it with a road, maybe, or well, that's probably way too thin and unsuitable. No, so we don't. We won't. Or well, we can technically make it wider. I will. Give me a second. No, and here we are. That was quite easy, honestly. Once you remove the road, you can obviously terraform, so that's why. And are we going to have, a level crossing? Probably. We probably do. Because connecting towards here is, but it's not a bad idea. So, yeah. Let's make it happen. How wide do we want to go? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, let's go like this, and yep, lovely. Works like a charm. So yeah, this thing is ultra ugly though. So can probably just take it back a little, smooth it up, and make it work. Well, sort of. Never mind. It's just a connecting road, right? We need a cableway station. We can absolutely make a connection from the cableway station down under. We have some underground thingy. But we need the cableway. We also have a cableway station here. That will need to be in reach of all of this. It will be a hell of a... There will be still hell of a work to do, because we still need to connect all of this with, footpaths and so on. But we still cannot work them before those roads are done, so that will wait. And till the time, we are creating things that we need. Now the problem is, if we are going to connect those together, here is a farm. Fuck, that's a steep hill. That is absolutely a steep hill. And someone was telling something about transporting goods. Not gonna happen here, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's set one thing clear. The road will be here, but I will need to raise this a little bit. So, give me a while. I will try something. It was way easier than I expected. Not gonna lie. But we got this very small storage from early start. It's this one. It's for 70 tons of food, but it still has 2 loading spots for vehicles, which is lovely because I can still send, you know, the truck from the big shopping center, because yeah, I'm unable to basically connect the cableway right in here. Oh, well, to be fair, I might be able to just, well, I'm not, because it has only 1 spot. I would need to connect it to the storage, and yeah, that would not look great. But, you know, we can send the truck and it will go around and just supply the shop. That's not a problem. We simply do not need it to, you know, just go all the way around. It would be, no, not great. It wouldn't be that great. Now we need to get people here, but that's kind of not a problem, it feels. Because we absolutely can just connect it with some lovely paths and footpaths. And just have it connected right inside, and there will be definitely like 1 house dedicated to it. Yeah, that's not a problem, and they will obviously be linked to the station. So whenever people will not get picked up, they will get just. We'll think about it. We'll balance it somehow, because there's one more thing we need to build. This wire, well, not wire, but this cable. It's a heavy cableway pole, so it's going up here. And now it's connected. Then it's going all the way. There will need to be a connection. But we need one more thing. We need to connect it towards this area. And there's one thing that is needed. And that's a connection to, that's a water production. Not a connection, but that's a water production. We need to have a source where we will pick up water. This thing is a heavy pollution area, so I'm kinda willing to place it in, you know, a remote area, maybe at the end of some roads. We'll see. But this is probably a spot that it will happen. So, let me plan the thing. We'll finish this infrastructure. Okay, here we have 2 towers, one for, well, not dirty water, but for unprocessed water. Here is a small plant. I'm not sure, but I think it will be enough. At least that's what I hope for, because it has quite some good capacity, and I'm not planning to use it for basically any area besides this whole factory and obviously, you know, the city below. That will be a lot of piping. I am aware of it. But now only 3 parts. Fields and pumps and, you know, some switches. Let's get on it. Oh, and here we go. We got fields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 2 more than we need. Will be enough. Now you can see the catchment area of this thing. If it's in completely free terrain, it has a quality of 95. For food factory and drinking, you need 97. That's by design. You cannot pump anywhere the good water without any processing. You need at least some processing. Always. If I would put it next to the field, you can see it's 85%, which is obviously a ratio I do not need. If you take a look, roads and rails do not count any infrastructure, so that's fine. Stations obviously do. And to be fair, I can put it right next to the cableway area, because this is simply 1%. That's nothing. In terms of 94, I can probably place one right in here. That feels okay. And the second one for another 94% right in here. This is probably way too close to the chemical plant though. I can I can also just, place it at the end of this whole road. But there might be a problem with burning substations because it will be out of reach. How far is this? Let me count it very fast. It's like 700 meters. Shouldn't matter too much though. Yeah, it will be... it's a big complex of shit. So 700 meters is maybe too close. So, you know what? I will place it down here. I'm not sure I will need 2 substations. We'll see. So, yeah. That's one in here. Second one right at the opposite side. We got 2 roads, which is, usual thing, because if you're transporting with trucks, you always need a freeway. Which brings me to a neat idea that we probably want to have an additional road in here as well. Because those... Well, there won't be tractors going on this one, so probably not. Okay. By the way, we got a road here for absolutely no reason at all. Can probably disconnect it for now, for the construction part. And you know what? A 94. Let me try this one. I'm not sure we are going to use it. We can always we can demolish it. It's not a problem. But I feel like it might be interesting to test it out. Because it will show the quality. We are obviously going to build these 2. So which one is going to be the gravel one? Probably the closest one. So that's the one that will be continued all the way here. And there will be simply a big water pump. Yeah, it's connected. It's connected right in here. One route, second route, don't worry. And then it's a matter of lots and lots of pipes. And also a substation. Don't forget, because without power, this thing does not work. So it will be fine if it actually has power. So now to pipe it up. Okay, this is dirt water. The upper layer. The bottom one I will simply keep, because that will have a lot of connections. But I just noticed I forgot one thing. Well, not forgot, but it will be lovely to have this thing. Anyway, connect this, probably these 2 together, and so they can get built. Same thing about here. This thing doesn't need to have such connection. Where is it going? Yeah, okay, this thing is actually done. Well, not completely, but you get the idea. Fine. So far, because yes, this is a storage that will need a road connection, so yeah. That's a lot and lots of stuff that need to happen. We can probably connect it right at this point. Can we? We can. Cool. We are there. Fine. What do I have in mind? I have in mind that, all of this will need some, not only some protection, but also we are having a chemical plant. And the chemical plant needs source of oil. Because everything else we have gravel, that's the thing on the left side. We have wood, that's the thing on the right side. We have crops, that's the thing that's cableway connected to. Now we have water. Power obviously will be here, but power is easy. Just bring in wires. We don't have oil. And that thing needs 4 tons of oil. Where do we have oil? Oil we have on multiple locations. One of them is up here at Motol, which is that direction. The Europa means actually oil. And trains going over the hill, we are the Semmering, will probably be able to load it, because this is loading station for something like oil. We have the station. Yeah, there are some hills and shit, but that's one source of oil. On the other hand, when we go down, we can either buy it from customs, or we have, you know, these tracks here. Those tracks are going to the right side, and, you know, we are at in Prikivka, that's temporary name. We are at Novi Hrad, new castle, and all of this is oil field as well. And we can absolutely send a train or distribution office to pick up raw oil and simply deliver it via train. However, having the train climb all the way around to deliver oil is unpractical. And the same thing from, you know, Motol to go all the way through the Semmering, it's also not practical. So we are going to have 2 unloading spots for oil, and hopefully they will work as one, at least, you know, over time. So, number 1, we have this thing, we have this connection. Obviously, for distribution office to work like that, we need to connect it in a, you know, semi-decent way. But to be fair, that's not exactly something we have a track record of not doing, so I think it's fine. Can we just mirror it somehow so it makes sense? It doesn't feel like it's making sense right now, especially with this huge ass step, but I think, you know, firemen will reach it, so okay. Now we need a pipe, and we need an overhead pipe because game reasons. But if you know what you're doing, it's not even looking bad. So this is for liquid fertilizer, this is for oil. Can I just F4? Yeah, we can. Just so we know, right? Mark it like this. Because these things are needed. This thing is obviously, yeah, it's buildable. Fine. From here, we are going to take the oil inside. It shouldn't need to get pumped. How big is the storage, by the way? 60 ton. We might. You know what? We might want to utilize the pumping station. Question is where to put it right now, but we might want to utilize it. It will probably be somewhere here, right? Because yeah. But no, we don't, because we have two inlets, so that's fine. So well, let's start from here because it's probably closer. We'll go with an underground pipe under all of this. Building in the way, yeah, I understand, but yeah, I'm not sure that a gravel crusher above pipe will not do any damage. It will not in the game, so that's where we are. By the way, I'm moving around and just completely moved my green screen. I just noticed. Okay, so that's one. The second thing we need to do, and that will be the last probably for now, we need the similar distribution hub down under here. We need oil unloading and fuel unloading and a fuel distribution. And here we are, simple as it is. 2 drums, one for fuel, that's the one that will be, you know, standing alone. Second one for oil. I have no idea where the oil will come from, but yeah, that's the thing we'll have. We got also plan for a fuel station right away, and this is a fuel distribution office. I probably should. HL for Hlubočepy, DO12 fuel, because we will be delivering fuel to a lot of places. Now, it is quite a distance to the chemical plant up here, and I have no idea how far we can take those underground pipes. Do I want to explore it right now? I think I can. I think I do. Actually, this feels fine because we are already up the hill. This is too long. That's marvelous. That's absolutely marvelous because this is absolutely the best spot I can have for it. I obviously need the... Oh, okay, these are the underground station. Okay. Because that's the one I obviously crave. So, cool. Yep, that's fine. And obviously, this one is also in the reach of those, fire crews. So, that's great. And, you know what? I will bring it under the factory, because these things go in such a depth that it doesn't matter. And most importantly, we still have not done one thing, and that's sewage. And the sewage will need one more detail. I'm not exactly sure where, but probably this one. This area here is probably the best one for it. What do I mean? We're producing water, but we also need to, collect sewage. And we have a sewage outlet down here. It is not exactly next to the city, but if I will dump untreated hazardous waste, it will spread a pollution for quite some area from here. And I'm not risking these houses. I'm absolutely not risking these houses. So either we will build a big, waste treatment plant right here, which is, to be fair, not a bad idea because we have the tram spot and tram stop anyway. By the way, where will those trams go on the other side? Where we can have probably an end station right here. Because, yeah, there is a stop. Yep, there is. And yeah, then there will be another stop all the way up here. But, well, that's... Okay, that's the one we probably will want to use. You know why? Because there is going to be the heating plant. Probably the big heating plant. So, yeah. Come on in then. This will never end, right? Yeah, this will absolutely never end. Because this is like the fourth last thing we do. Okay, so small out, short around. If I build this, this thing, yeah, it's only a reconstruction office, nobody's going there. Cool. If I build this and assign it like this, okay, pylons are on the right side. You know what it means? That we need to switch them. Switch them for the second part, because then they will be in the way. So yeah, move out, and we need to build this thing from right, left, because that's the logic. That's how the thing works. I didn't write the rules. I'm just using them. So if we need pylons on the left, you cannot change it later on. So you need to make it like this. Yep. We have the end station. And definitely the not fire. Oh, it's called heating plant will be here. Which means another thing to do, how to supply coal. And I already talked about some stuff. Cool. By the way, yeah, I talked about having a water treatment plant. How big is that thing? This is a small one, right? Small. It's not small at all. Okay, small will definitely fit here once those roads are done. What is the capacity? 165 and 80. I think we can have it here. We can have a small one here and direct everything towards it. 13 meters. 29. Fine. Definitely will work. Not worried at all. Cool. Yeah, we have the outlet. Fuck it. It will fit. I'm not sure it will process the technical waste and technical wastewater. Can we fit, as it should be, can we fit a small treatment right in here? I think we can. think we actually can. I probably should dig it in, then not, you know, not to raise terrain for it, but yep, sure, let's dig it in. Right where it would be, by the way, because it's at the end process of all of this. And yeah, it's in reach from the cableway station, so that's nice. And you know what? Yeah, this is how it will be created. This wing can have a connection. It will have a connection from this very big crossroad, because why not? And here we are. I think we're fine. I think we do not need anything else. Oh, we can obviously connect this thing, but that's probably all. Yeah. So I will aim switch into this. Not now, but later on. And yeah, and then it will flow all the way downhill. We have oil lift for oil, and yeah, then it means, you know, sewage will go all the way somewhere towards here. It's not a problem. And I think we leave for later on. Have a nice day. See you in the future. Bye bye.